Good morning, everybody. You're watching the morning news on CNN News 18. I am Aisha Varma. We have some breaking news coming in right now. Now, the CNN News 18 news break on the Chinese spy ship has been confirmed. The Sri Lanka, in an official communication, has said that the letter that has been sent to China to hold the Yuan Wang 5 till further consultations, that is essentially confirmed. Earlier, we had reported that Sri Lanka had sent a letter to China saying that they would prefer to defer the docking of the Chinese spy ship, the Yuan Wang 5, until further consultations are carried out. Now I'm crossing over to my colleague Anand Narasimhan to give us more details on this. Anand, could you tell us why Sri Lanka has sent this letter to China, and could you also elaborate on this Chinese spy ship and the features that make it a spy ship?
Well, the Chinese spy ship Yuan Wang 5 was commissioned in 2007. It is one of the most advanced vessels, and it has the ability to listen into more than 750 kilometers in the sea. So its positioning at the Hambantota, it's not that the first time it's coming in. It's coming in even in 2014. At that time also there were objections. But the conditions or the situations prevalent at that time were different. Galwan had not happened. India's hostilities with the Chinese hadn't come to the level where it was out in the open what China's adversarial expansionist moves are. But here it has been, what has happened is that the Chinese ship wanted to dock at Hambantota, and they had made between the 11th and the 17th of August, and that's where it wanted to be. And this was a day after the National Day celebrations of the PLA. But given India's intervention and India's objection to the presence of this Chinese ship not far from Indian territorial waters, and more importantly, with the ability of this ship to monitor and look at key installations, military and naval installations in the Bay of Bengal, and also reach out as far as Kolkata in terms of what our movements were or placements were. There were serious objections that were raised that this ship with a hostile intent, why is it there in the Indian Ocean, and that too so close to Indian territorial waters? And this objection had been conveyed even to the Sri Lankans. Sri Lanka at this point in time is in the throes of a financial crisis, and the only nation that has stepped up to actually help them out to pay their meet their basic needs in terms of food, humanitarian aid, medical supplies, fuel, and even monetary help is India. Even the Chinese have not helped at this point in time. Now, Hambantota as a port is on lease with the Chinese till 99 years. So clearly, China would have wanted to assert itself. But Sri Lanka then writing and urging this letter also we had put out exclusively on the 4th of August, where it was an official letter which requested the Chinese to reconsider docking the ship, the spy ship at Hambantota until a further date is decided and after further consultation. So that was the message that the Sri Lankans set out. But that was a day after the President Ranil Wickremesinghe openly endorsed the One China policy. So this communication is only further underwriting that comment made by the Sri Lankans, where they've tried to be equanimous and they've tried to balance it while telling China that we endorse a One China policy, trying to show that we are not in the throes of the American or the Quad narrative, which is talking about rules-based use of this, trade, rules-based trade, and also where America called it a fight between democracy and autocracy. That's what Nancy Pelosi said in Taiwan. So here, Ranil Wickremesinghe is saying we endorse the One China policy, but however, we'd like this ship not to come to Hambantota for the moment, given the situation prevalent, current situation prevalent. In the meantime, there are reports doing the rounds, subject to confirmation, that the Yuan Wang 5 has now been redeployed by the PLA. So somewhere there's been consideration of this message by the Sri Lankans, the request by the Sri Lankans, but also the compulsions of the tensions that have been ratcheted up in the South China Sea and in the Taiwan Straits. And Yuan Wang 5 has now been redeployed in those waters until after their military drills conclude, which will extend even beyond the 10th of August until at least the 15th of August, as far as the PLA revised plans are concerned. So a lot of things have happened over the last 48 hours. But this is just confirmation that India's objections have been considered by the Sri Lankans, and they have asked this ship to stay away from Sri Lankan waters for the moment.
Absolutely, Anand. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those important details. Now we have some more